Okay, grade 2. Today we are going to talk about place value. Now we already touched on it the week before last week, I think. But when you hear place value, for now that you're in grade 2, I want you to immediately draw 3 houses. Now we always start with the roof. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now these are our houses. We don't know how far down we're going to go, so we just do that. The first house is going to be your hundreds. The middle house is going to be your tens, and the last house will be your units. Okay, what this means is if I had to write the number 237, I have to write that number into these houses. On Place Value Street, we always walk from right to left. Okay, we always walk from right to left on Place Value Street. So the first number I write is the last one, 7. Next number, 3. Next number, 2. This tells me that this is a 7. This is not a 3 because it's in the tens house. It's actually a 30. And this is not a 100. It's actually is not a 2. It's actually 200. So I put my 2 in my hundreds house, my 3 in my tens house, and my 7 in my units house. If I now ask you, how many tens in 237, what are you going to say? You are going to look at your tens house and you are going to say 3. There are 3 tens in 237. Okay. If we had to use this in a sum, you are still going to do your sum in the houses, but this time we are going to make a tree. In this tree, we are going to write down what it is that we have to do. For example, if it is a plus sum, we put our plus in the tree. I'm going to write this. Now, there's 1 unit, 6 tens, and 4 hundreds. That means 160 and 400. Now let's plus this together. Remember, on Place Value Street, we always walk from right to left. So we start at the right, at the last house. 7 plus 1 is 8. 3 plus 6 is 9. And 2 plus 4 is 6. There we just did a very complicated sum in very few steps. I didn't bring anything to erase with. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's take another example. All right. We are on Place Value Street. The numbers I want to write are, or the sum that I want to do is, let's say 926 minus 404. Now that looks like an extremely difficult sum. Okay, I know that. But let's take our first number and put it into our houses. Remember, on Place Value Street, we walk from right to left. So we start with our last number, 6, middle number 2, 9. Now we have to do the same with our second number. Start from the back, 4, 0, and 4. Remember to write the operation in the tree. What is my operation? Minus. Now we do the sum, but we do it from right to left. So 6 minus 4, 2. 2 minus 0, 2. If I have 2 sweets and someone takes none of them away, I still have 2. 9 minus 4, 5. Okay, so the answer is 522. Mostly with place value, you will be able to do your sums in the houses, okay? So those 3 houses are very important. We will come back to them now, but I want to show you something else. If I give you the number 854, and I say, write this number in expanded notation, show me what this number is made up of. Then I draw my house very small on top. These roofs are way too small for me to write something in, so I'm just going to do it here. Remember, units, tens, hundreds. This is something you're just going to have to remember. How many hundreds in my sum? 8. So 800. How many tens in my sum? 5. So 50. And then how many units in my sum? 4. Now I have written my place value in expanded notation. I've shown you exactly what this number is made up of. It is made up of 800, 50, and 4. How do I know that? Because I have 4 in my units house, I have 5 in my tens house, and I have 8 in my hundreds house. Okay? Let's try another one. Actually, I could have left the houses, so let's leave the houses up here. 110 unit. The number in expanded notation, we will write this as how many in my hundreds house? 6. Do I just write 6? Grade 2, quickly look at this. If I say there's a 6, there's a 9, and there's a 8, my answer needs to be 698. Am I going to get that? No, because 6 plus 9 is 15. Let me just make sure if I'm right. Yes, I am. This is 15, and 15 plus 8 is 23. So I will get to this answer, and that's not the answer that I want. Okay, I want the answer 698. So I have to say how many sixes, or how many hundreds? 6, but it's not just a 6. If these two weren't here, it would be 600. Hundreds house, 600. Plus 9 tens gives me 90. 8 units gives me 8. Okay, these are just the names of all of the numbers in your digit or in your big number, so that we know exactly what it is made up of, so that we can make it easier for ourselves to solve the problem. So, why do I keep erasing that? We have our hundreds, our tens, and our units. I'm going to do another sum with you, and let's see how we do it. So the sum is 165 plus 800 and 34. Okay. In place value street, we walk from right to left. So 5 plus 4 gives me 9. 6 plus 3 gives me 9. And 1 plus 8 gives me 9. So my answer is 999. Grade 2, let me show it to you this way. If I have a number like, I don't know why I want to do that again. Okay. This is basically what it means. This isn't a sum. I'm just going to show you what it means. 4 hundreds means I have 400. 6 tens means I have 60. And 2 means I have 2. If we plus all of this together now in our houses, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 6 is 6. And 4 is 4. then we get the same number that we had at the top, because this is the same number in expanded notation. Okay, so this was just a quick, short introduction video. I just wanted to show you what place values are. I want you to remember the three houses, the hundreds, the tens, and the units. I want you to remember that on place value street, we walk from right to left. So we always start with our units and figure that one out first. Expanded notation just means you put in the zeros where I ask you to put in the zeros. And that's about it. Somewhere this week, I think tomorrow we start with that. Yes, tomorrow we start with place value activities. So tomorrow we will put this into use. But I want you to remember your houses, and remember on place value street we walk from right to left.